We just saw Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene testifying at an Atlanta hearing to determine whether she can run for re-election. A group of voters has brought this case, saying that she should be deemed ineligible due to her alleged participation, they are saying, in the January 6th insurrection. She, of course, is saying that she did nothing to be involved in the events. I want to go to White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks, ABC News political director Rick Klein, and host and legal analyst at the Law and Crime Network, Terry Austin, for more on this. Terry, Greene's answer to just about everything so far was, I don't remember, or I don't recall. She doesn't remember calling Nancy Pelosi a traitor in a direct quote. She doesn't remember sending certain tweets that were asked about, liking certain tweets that were asked about, inviting anyone to come down to the January 6th demonstrations, or even talking to other lawmakers about those demonstrations. Is this an effective strategy?
Well, Diane, you hit it on the head. She is now, since the break, saying she does not recall anything, and that is working for her. It's effective for her. It's not effective for anyone who's trying to challenge her. So what she's saying is she doesn't recall. That's not technically a lie under oath. And even if there were evidence where they could show that she definitely said those words, she could still say she doesn't recall. So it is, in a sense, a way to get around telling the truth, a way to get around answering those exact questions. And I think we're going to see quite a bit of that. I don't know if she was instructed at the break to say that, or if all of a sudden she just recognized she could get away with it. But she's basically saying she doesn't recall anything before, during, or after the January 6th insurrection.
Is there any downside to taking that approach?
Well, when you're in front of a jury, the downside is they will look at you and say, you're not telling the truth. There's no way you cannot recall all of that information. And so I think it does hurt her credibility. But here we're seeing that the back and forth is basically not getting the information that we're trying to derive here. And so I'm not sure, as far as the decision is concerned, whether or not it's going to help the judge. But essentially, we're going to have to figure out what she knew. Did she know this was going to be an insurrection? Did she participate in it? Did she, put it on her calendar? Did someone else put it on her calendar? She's claiming she doesn't know who liked tweets. These are the types of questions that I think we're going to have to pursue further and bring other people in to discredit what she has to say.
Now, what is the broader point, the broader case that the petitioner here is trying to prove? Why this line of questioning?
The line of questioning is because the burden of proof really is on the person to show that they had an insurrection and that she supported that insurrection. And so they're going to have to try to demonstrate she knew what was going to happen here, that there was going to be an insurrection on that day, and that Greene actually helped. The challenger has to show that. And so I think it's going to be very difficult to do that if she answers all of these questions with, no, I don't believe that I recall any of that. So it's a very difficult standard of proof here, because she's denying everything. And like I said, unless they get people in there, all of the individuals that you heard being listed there who she may have had conversations with, Stockton, Jennifer Lawrence, Biggs, all these other people, unless you get them in there, Gosar, and say that there was a discussion, I don't think we're going to be able to get to the root of the matter. And that's a shame. We really should be able to hear what actually happened, what she knew. And even that video, which preceded January 6th, might not help at all, because that was a peaceful demonstration versus what happened on January 6th.
And Terry, there are layers here that the petitioners would, in theory at least, have to prove. One is that her actions do amount to participating in an insurrection, and then also that would meet the burden of the 14th Amendment, and then that this court has the jurisdiction to deem her ineligible. Do you see that happening? The attorney says he needs another hour of questioning. Do you think he can get there with these kinds of answers we've seen so far?
I think the voters challenging this, I think essentially they're trying to say that, she knew all about this. And even with another hour, another 2 hours, if she continues to say, I don't recall, that's a problem. I think they're going to have to get other evidence in. If they have evidence of her talking right before January 6th in a video, she's not going to be able to deny that, other than something that might have been said in an article. If they have someone who said, on this day, we had this conversation, she knew there was going to be violence there, she supported it, she sent money, her office sent money, she authorized that. That's the type of detailed information they're going to have to present if they want to win this 14th Amendment challenge, that she violated her oath of office. She violated the Constitution when she supported an insurrection. It has to be very detailed. So far, I haven't seen it.
Terry, there are other Republicans who are facing similar challenges. None of them have gone this far. How closely are they watching this right now and maybe taking notes?
They are glued to this video, to this hearing, definitely taking notes. I think the case against her, frankly, might be stronger than most of the others. She was very vocal about it. She was up in front, and she was really the voice of the Republican Party as far as that fraction who considered this not to be a legal election. And I think if this hearing doesn't result in some sanctions against her, I'm not very positive that we might get some sanctions against some of the other Republicans who might not have been as verbal, as vocal. If it's not on video these days and you sit and you say, I don't recall, it's pretty hard to prove that you were involved, that you knew. And so I think we'll see what happens here. But yes, everyone is taking notes to see whether or not she's going to be sanctioned in any way, shape, or form.
All right, legal analyst Terry Austin. Always great to have you, Terry. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.